All right, welcome to this module on who am I and why am I here? Now, what do you need to know about this? Well, you've got a space in the journal. It's not much to look at, but it is a space where you can write the answers to the question, who are you? Why are you here? Um, and it's the most important question that you're going to answer throughout your initiation. This is really the point of initiation, is to figure out this answer. Now, if it's your first time doing this, then know that you've already done a bit of that work because you've just looked at what went well in the last 90 days and what it says about you. So you can start this by taking all those positive and useful traits about yourself and putting them into what we call a document. A document is a collection of declarations. My document is not something that I just memorize and spout out, but it's part of who I am. It's the most accurate way of me describing who I am and why I'm here. And I didn't take this very seriously to start with. When I first started doing this, I just was like, yeah, sure. I just want to move on and do the next thing. But this is the thing. This is like, if you can understand who you are and you can get it into you and remove the bullshit about who you're not, which is your ego, and get detached from your ego. You know, your ego is just an identity that you've created. In a sense, we're trying to get either below that because we're trying to get to the real stuff. You know, even the roles and things that you play in life, they may seem part of who you are, but really there's something underneath that. So even though in my declarations in my document I do say I am a father, and that is an important role that I am and I value, it is still a role. It is still part of my ego. So what does the being a father actually say about who I am? I'm loving. Like, I'm definitely loving. I can always be loving, and I always will be loving. But I haven't always been as loving as perhaps I could have been or wanted to be. So you're trying to get to the traits underneath that. I'm caring, I'm responsible, those types of things. So the easiest ways to describe and to explain this module to you is to simply tell you my declarations. I don't have anything in front of me. I'm just going to speak it to you as it comes, and know that this has taken me a couple of years to clarify, get into my nervous system, and it also serves to me, for me, it serves as a reminder. So if I'm ever in a situation where I'm starting to be stressed out, get triggered, I will just remember my declarations, remember who I actually am, because I still have shadows. Shadows still pop up. They always will do. But eventually it becomes smaller and smaller and smaller, and this becomes bigger and bigger. And I'm still gathering evidence to reinforce who I am as well. The other thing that I'll say is that the words I am are probably the most powerful words. You know, various people have said that the most powerful words you can say, the most powerful creation words are I am. And why this is also important is because, again, it's the lens through which you see the world. So if you see the world through I am a smoker, you start noticing where you are a smoker, and that's what you get reinforced and reflected back to you. If you start noticing the world through I am loving, I am loved, loving, and joyful, then you start also noticing that. But depending on how old you are, how set you are, how long you've been a smoker for, or insert whatever your I am not useful declaration might be. I'm a drinker, I'm a drug user, I'm no good in relationships, I'm no good at business, I'm no good at leading people, I am, whatever. Depending on how long you've been gathering the evidence to prove that case in your mind will make it harder or easier to reverse and get to the truth. Because the truth is, you were not born being bad at relationships. You were not born being a bad father. You were not born being a smoker. You were not born being a drinker. You were not born any of those things. And whilst you might not argue that you weren't born being good at it either, you can still create yourself as a great father, for example. So anyway, without any further ado, I am loved, loving, and joyful. I am deeply in love, loyal and connected to Eleanor Jones me, and we are fantastic parents. I am disciplined, focused, calm, efficient, capable, grounded, passionate, open-minded, playful, and open to being wrong. I'm always open to being wrong. I am playful and light. I am an advocate of world peace. I am advocate. I am an advocate for world peace, and I am a philanthropist. I am in my fullness as a man. I am a king, a warrior, a magician, a lover. I am a capable, effective father, and I'm grateful for the presence and health of my beautiful sons. I am that I always prioritize my fitness, nutrition, mindset, sleep, and meditation. I am a powerful, confident speaker, an author and poet, and my words are inspiring and evoke emotion in people. I am a great leader, and I am a confident leader. I am a gatherer of men, and I am a world-class, life-changing coach, and I can help anyone achieve anything. I am a world-class listener, and I'm especially good in my relationship with Eleanor Jones me at listening. I am an adventurer, and I can do hard things. I am forgiving, and I am more than enough. I am here to help guide men, to initiate men, to raise capable sons, and to protect the natural world. And my mother named me Benjamin, and Benjamin means son of the right hand, trusted man, right hand man. And so that's who I am and why I'm here. And like I said, that's taken me a couple of years to get clear on. And it might take you also a couple of years. But the reason it took me a couple of years is because I didn't take it that seriously to start with. And so your practice, your task off the back of this is to look at your wins and to start creating your declarations one at a time. There are going to be other tasks throughout the journal that will help you uncover more about who you are. You're going to do a reckoning, which is where you ask other people about who you are. You're going to do some thinking about your long-term plan, your grand vision, and who you might need to be to create that grand vision. And every time you do these things, I'll just nudge you to go back and check your declarations and see that you've got that incorporated into the declarations. So start creating your declarations, start creating your document. And once you've got version 1 and you're really happy with it, then start speaking it. Start speaking it out loud twice a day. That's all you need to do. Initially, you'll just be reading it from paper. Speak it. Don't just say it in your head. Speak it out loud. Makes a big difference. And I recommend doing that a couple of times a day. And wherever you get the opportunity to drop in little lines, instead of saying, "Oh, I'm no good at that," start saying you are good at that. Remember a line from your declaration and speak it where you can to people and drop it into conversation. It's not going to be as weird as you think. All right. That is probably one of the most powerful, important videos that you're going to watch. And again, if you don't watch any of the other videos and you just get one thing out of this program that I'm putting together, it is thinking about answering that question. Who am I? Why am I here? That is the place that will flow the rest of the outcomes, the behaviors that you experience in your life and the way that you see your world. Thank you for watching. And if you've got any questions on it, obviously feel free to ask, drop it into the community chat, and I'll see you in the next video. Lots of love.